Hey everyone, Gnarlash here. Welcome back to some more Sid Meier's Civilization 7. We're playing as Pachacuti in the Incan Empire on Deity difficulty. And in our last episode, we are really just winding down the end of the age. We have some burning districts here because the crisis reached tier 3, so all of our cities are unhappy and just burning stuff down. So that is something we are dealing with. On the bright side, though, we have our cultural golden age secured, our military golden age secured, and our science golden age secured. We are working on economy, but once we hit our second node here, it's actually going to push the age, so we won't be able to get an economic golden age. I mean, it's still really good though. Like, we are way ahead in legacy points now. We're 5 points ahead of Napoleon, so I think we're in a really good position to start the modern age. So let's get back into this and wrap it up. Once these two treasure fleets reach our homelands, that should be it. So if you do find yourself enjoying this one, go ahead and hit that like button. Helps the channel out massively. And if you're new, don't forget to subscribe. And let's see what everybody decides to do. So there's heraldry mastery. Also, we did lose a lot of our alliances last episode, or all of our alliances last episode, because everybody's going to war with each other. And the thing is, when people were going to war, they were going to war with other leaders that had allies that I would have had to declare war against because of the alliances. So it's like this whole chain effect where I had to just break off the alliances, unfortunately. It's not what we wanted to do, but it is what we had to do. So we're kind of just looking at different masteries here and trying to figure out what exactly we want to do. And it's looking like the next play will be Guilds Mastery. So we'll go ahead and grab that. Then we have production in Kansa, because Kansa is now a city, thanks to us needing this tile here for Machu Picchu and getting our science golden age. So we could throw down the wharf, actually. Do we have anything ageless that we want to build? Could build a sawmill. That's not a bad spot for a sawmill. It's not amazing. The thing is that the age is going to end. So the sawmill is probably one of the best things we can build. I'll put it in the city hall. Yeah, because the other buildings, whatever we build, is going to be obsolete. So that's kind of annoying. So Choctaw has production as well. So we're going to just repair everything here. Oh no, that's not what we want to do. Purchase, repair everything, which doesn't look like it did it. So we'll just do that. So that's all fixed. We will not do that. Let's start building. We could build some more medieval walls. It's probably not a bad idea. I mean, we do have about 5 turns, so we could throw down a hospital if we wanted to. We could also throw down the bazaar if we wanted to. I think that the hospital might be better. We'll put it with the granary. We can always build over it later. Then in this settlement, we're going to purchase, repair everything. And then we'll start working on something ageless, potentially. It doesn't look like it. We have all our ageless stuff up already. So let's go ahead and I guess production would be the best investment. So let's throw down a dungeon. And we can just throw this down over here, and that should be okay. All right, this missionary needs to convert that back. This missionary can start to... I guess if we convert this, we can move up here and convert this urban tile. Now you need to move, I guess, here or here. That works. What is our religion looking like anyway? We haven't really been focused too much on it, but we have been focused a little bit on it. So 48%, that's actually not horrible. Okay, so you only have 1 charge. Let's send you over to Hatshepsut City on this tile. Okay, and then let's take a quick look at stuff that's burning down still. Let's cancel these, we'll purchase, repair them. And then that way we can just build some stuff. If we want to throw down the hospital, it has to be built over this, which is not the best use of our resources, but I wonder if this scales up next in the next age. So I kind of want to leave that there. We don't need the happiness, so I guess we'll just put walls up, because why not? Give us a little bit of extra defense at the beginning of modern. It's not going to be anything crazy, but still helpful, that's for sure. Okay, and then what do we want to build here? Anything ageless? The brickyard's not bad, to be fair. That's only if we can get a 4-1 down though, and it's not worth it to replace those tiles. So we won't be doing that. Could throw down the pavilion. Could put it down right here. 116 is not bad. Yeah, I'm thinking we will just throw that down right here. Nice. Okay. Yeah, things are looking promising. Treasure fleets are making their way over. What has to be moved still? Probably missionaries. Yeah. So let's convert this. Okay, and we can just end turn and see what everybody does. Okay, there is our civic mastery. No, this is the actual civic, and then we have guild's mastery done. So we don't need to do anything here, but I do want to look at our civics. Yes, that was the civic itself. Then we can get the mastery as well, just so we have that done. And then for science, can we grab another relic? Can we grab 18 production, 7 production. We're not going to be at war, so that kind of doesn't, the combat strength on districts policy doesn't, or not policy, but like bonus doesn't really do much for us right now. I guess technically this would make the biggest difference. So we get metal casting and then this. I don't know if I have enough time to do that. We'll see. Okay, we have some growth here in Savage. Now we could go for a specialist. We could also go for these massive production tiles. I think since we're going to be going into modern, we're just going to go for the production. So let's grab that tile. And then this city also has some growth. And it looks like we'll be going for production here as well. Technically, we can get this science with 3 production, so I think we'll grab that. And then Savage also has production. Okay, so a terrace farm, we're not going to put that there. Interesting that it has 6 now, though. I thought they only had 4 before. Maybe I don't, maybe I'm misremembering. We could throw a monastery here, though, so we will absolutely do that. And then Cusco has more production. So we'll just go ahead and throw another wall down. We'll also have a lot of walls in Cusco by the time the age is over because there's not much else we want to do. So something we could do here is convert Isabella's new cities that don't have a religion. Okay. You know, is this not, oh, it's a wonder. It doesn't count as a rural or what's it called? Urban tile. That's kind of interesting, actually. So I guess you might as well just come over here and convert that. That is fine. You can convert this, and then we'll just have you actually convert that. Okay, that works out. Yeah, the other leaders actually have a decent amount of military, comparatively speaking. We are definitely lacking on the military front. However, we have a mega amount of influence that we're just not using. Kinda because it doesn't make sense to. I mean, going into the next stage with some influence and some gold is not a bad thing. Who else needs to move? Always the missionaries. So what is this that we're on right now? I don't even know. All the wonders are here, though. Can we move you here? Oh, that was a wonder. Okay, that makes sense then. We should be able to convert on that Great Wall tile, though. Let's have you move over here. See what you can see. My treasure fleet should be making their way home shortly. Looks like they are almost there. We have 7 turns to get them there. We have growth in Sausa, so we can grab the Jade, which we'll absolutely do. It gives us some happiness. And then in Savage, could throw it in the hospital. It looks like we'll throw it down here. Perfect. I actually kind of want to move these treasure fleets. Can you get here next turn? Oh no, it's actually in 2 turns. Or I said next turn, this turn. Okay. So, Alabama, what do we want for you? Probably... So when the guild hall becomes obsolete, I think we keep the gold and the influence. So I kind of want that. And we can throw that down with the pavilion there. And then Choctaw, I guess we'll just throw down some walls because there's not really much else to do. Okay, so we are at the point now where can we pull anything out of one of these cities? I guess the food here we can pull out. We don't want to put the jade here. We can pull these fish out. So let's pull the fish out. Let's move this food here. And let's put the jade here. Wow, that was massive. 121 to 140. That is crazy. And then that's a city. Are there any towns without resources? Just that one that I feel like I messed it up the way I put down the districts. So it's probably on me. We can give this to Kansa because it's the lowest food. I think that's fine. Okay. So we got more missionaries. Oh, you're already moving. So just you then. So let's send you up to Gao. I think that would be fine. You convert this. You convert the wall like we thought you could. That's perfect. Another treasure fleet. We'll just send it over here because that is where it needs to go. So you then need to move up here. And now you've converted that. So we can actually have you just come and convert this one. Oh, actually we have a guy right here. That's going to do that for us. Okay. That is fine. Ooh. Napoleon's got a settlement up here. Yeah, Napoleon really built up a few settlements here at the end of that. I guess a lot of the other leaders built up a few more settlements here at the end of the age. So we do have the most population though, 383. We have the most population by a long shot, actually. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, let's reconvert our settlement there. And then our treasure fleet should be making their way over. Perfect. Okay, Hatshepsut is completing stuff, but it's not pushing the age. It's not pushing the age, fortunately. So this civic mastery is done. That means we did all of our Incan civics before the age ends. Let's pop that in there. So that's 3 treasure fleet points. Next turn, we will push the age. So that will be very good. Now in Kansa, I'm going to grab the science tile with the happiness, because we're definitely going to need that going into modern. Wanuku, we'll probably need the happiness, so we'll just grab this food tile here with the happiness on it. And then in terms of civics, I don't think it really matters what we go to grab. We can just knock out this mastery here, or we could do like inspiration. Yeah, I don't think any of them really matter too much. Okay, Savash has production. I think we'll just throw down some more walls. And then Choctaw, build more walls. Cusco, also walls. I mean, to be fair, this is very defensible. So not a bad thing. So we probably have maybe 2 turns until the age is over. So that means we want to build a bazaar, guild hall. I guess we can put down the guild hall. That wouldn't be a bad idea. Could put it right here. Would that be a good place for it though? Could put it here because it's going to be obsolete anyway. I think that's probably a better play. Because I'm worried that if I occupy another, like that production tile, then we won't be able to utilize that if we want to. And we'll have an obsolete building on it instead. So that's kind of my thought process there. So convert that. Let's have you move over here, just kind of see what exactly is going on. Now you, wow, he has so many wonders here. It's kind of crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wonders in one city. 6 wonders in one city. That is an insane amount of wonders. Okay, this missionary can go ahead and move over this way. I think I'll have you do the same thing because the other one only has the 1 charge. Yeah, we're going to hold on to our gold and our influence for now. Perhaps we should have settled some more, but I don't know. Maybe that would have been the play. I mean, I think going into modern, if we need to fight people, I think we'll be in really good shape to do so. So I'm not too worried about that because we are going to have a massive head start because of all of our legacies and golden ages and things like that. So I'm not really worried about it. So when we pop that, we should be able to push the age. Oh, for sure. So let's do everything else first. Let's do our growth here, which we should get some happiness if we can. So we'll go ahead and grab this tile. And then science doesn't really matter unless there's something we can 1 turn. Doesn't look like it though. So we'll just throw that in there in case we can do something about it. Kansa, we'll start some... We're going to put the brickyard. Don't really want to put the brickyard down. It's not really high value. We'll start some walls. Don't know if that's going to complete, but I'd rather the wall be incomplete than something else. Same for you. Throw some extra walls down. Cusco, more walls for you. Okay, that is converted. I don't remember. We do have a missionary coming down that way. It'll never get there in time, but that's okay. Let's have you head on over here. This is rural, right? This is a rural tile. And then you have 1 charge. Oh, this is fully converted now. That's fine. I'll just put you here. We'll just do that. She gave that to Hatshepsut. That is kind of funny. I mean, I'd rather Hatshepsut be there than anybody else because she was like our main ally. Like even with the 2 ended alliances, we still have a plus 44 relationship. So it is really good. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and pop this. There is our second economic milestone, and there is 100% age completion. So exploration is ending. You convert. That is fully converted. You just slide on up here. That's fine. Can you fully convert that? You can. And then we'll just kind of scoot down this way just to do that. Okay, so this should now wrap up the age. So I'm also kind of just looking if we do make any more settlements in modern, kind of where I want those to be. It's unfortunate that we have like this settlement here. This isn't a big deal. We kind of secured most of this, so that's fine. This is not amazing, but it could be a potential settlement. The land that's left is very limited, which is why there's usually a lot more fighting in modern. Technically, there's some more space here that we could settle. So let's go ahead and oh, that's a little annoying. Is this urban? It is urban, and then you can't get to one of our urban tiles, can you? No. Well, maybe. Is that not an urban tile? Oh, it's not an urban tile. All right. Well, it was worth a shot. Yeah, he's only got one movement left. I mean, this is Kansa anyway. He would have had to cross water. So, is what it is. Okay. Let us end the turn, and that should push us into the modern age here. Lots of navies going around too. That's kind of crazy. Okay. There is the end of exploration, and I think we did a fantastic job. This is a really cool one. Yeah, with the terrace farm and all that. That is very cool. Okay. So we got a ton of stuff here. That is so cool. Okay, age rankings. We did awesome across the board. Actually, nobody else got any economic points, which is kind of crazy. So we are in the lead by 6 legacy points. Okay, very cool. Got some experience, have not unlocked anything yet, which is fine. Unlock something. Customizable title. Okay, let's transition to the next age. And let's see what we have unlocked here. I think we have a lot of these unlocked, actually. We have everything except for America unlocked, which is pretty crazy. So I was talking about, in a previous episode, I was talking about Nepal. So Nepal is diplomatic cultural. So all warehouse buildings apply to mountain terrain tiles, but they cost 1 gold and 1 happiness maintenance. 30% production towards constructing Budanath, which I don't know if that's how you pronounce that. They have the Gurkha, which is a Nepalese unique infantry unit. Stronger, faster, and more expensive. They also have the Sherpa, which is a unique scout. Ignores mountains and rough terrain, so kind of like the Incan scout. Ignores featureless mountains for movement. Can move on Mount Everest. Okay, that is... The Mount Everest thing is niche, but the other stuff is kind of cool. So if there's nothing on the mountain, then it can move over the mountain. At least that's what I'm understanding there. And then you can put down a Highland power station, which is 3 production, 3 culture. Does not remove warehouse bonus on a tile. Must be placed on a featureless mountain tile and is constructed by the Sherpa. Once you have the Sagarmatha mastery. So only the Sherpa can put down the Highland power station? Interesting. That is very interesting. So all warehouse buildings apply to mountain terrain tiles. So that means that the granary, for instance, will receive a bonus or will provide an extra food bonus to mountain terrain tiles. So that's potentially good for us. There are a decent amount of mountains in our empire. So Mughal is another interesting one. 75% gold yields, minus 25% on all other yields. And they get 30% production toward constructing the Red Fort. So we do have a high gold income. It's not, I don't think it's crazy high, but it's definitely up there. So that could be pretty good if we want to go for an economic victory. They get a special infantry unit. Oh, it can make a bombard ranged attack. That's kind of crazy. They also have a unique settler. I always find it interesting when the modern age civs have a unique settler, because how often do you settle a new location in modern? I feel like it's a lot less than exploration and antiquity. They also get the stepwell. Let's do food from adjacent farms. Mughal unique improvement. Cannot be placed adjacent to another stepwell. So the thing about these unique improvements is we have all of those pot cops, we have all of those terrace farms, and we have all of those monasteries. I don't think we want to play a civ that has a unique improvement, unfortunately, because I don't want to play Nepal. Actually, okay, so Nepal, though, goes on mountains. So I'm thinking we might actually just play Nepal because that's kind of what I want to play. Siam gains a unique diplomatic action to immediately become suzerain of a city-state at a higher influence cost than befriend independent. Interesting. Production toward a wonder. I think every civ has a production toward a specific wonder. They get their unique elephant unit, which has increased ranged strength and movement. Can also move after attacking, which is kind of nice. Then has the Uparat, which is a great person, which it basically applies all the same principles that the same gameplay that the great people provide. You get one of each, and each subsequent one gets more expensive. Yeah, can be trained in cities where an independent power has been befriended. That's also interesting. But then yeah, each specific one is random, and each one can only be received once, and the cost increases with each one trained. Then it has the bang, but that's probably not how you say that. It's probably different. With 3 culture and 3 happiness. Again, it can only be put on navigable rivers. That's probably a no. We don't really have a lot of navigable rivers by us. Then we have, I think this is pronounced Ching, but I could be wrong. I'm going to say King because that's what I've been saying, but I think it might be pronounced King. Or Ching, sorry. So, okay. 4 gold, 3 culture, 2 influence, but -1 science from imported resources. That is very interesting to us because we've been focused a lot on trade. In the past, well, antiquity was tough. Exploration, we had a ton of trade routes going. They get a unique infantry unit, which 4 combat strength if adjacent to another Gusa is pretty good. Then it has a unique merchant, civilian who can establish a trade route to import resources from a foreign settlement. Gain 50 gold for every resource acquired when creating a naval route. I mean, it's cool. So we have a unique quarter, 25% influence in this settlement. That could be good depending on the settlement. This is only a cities though, so it can't be applied to hub towns. If it could be applied to hub towns, that'd be a little overpowered, but it cannot. These are nice though. Yeah, 6 science, and then 1 happiness adjacency for buildings and wonders, and then 5 gold and 1 gold adjacency for buildings and wonders. This is an interesting one for the game that we've been playing. Okay, I don't want to play Prussia. I don't want to play Japan, France, or Mexico because we played those already. Yeah, you know, I think we're going to play Nepal because 1, I want to play Nepal. So that's probably good enough on its own. But also because I want to check out how these mountain tile bonuses apply since we do already have... Well, no, so we won't have the bonuses from the Inca Civ. But if we have... So, like, I wasn't paying enough attention to the traditions where... Like, I'm not sure if we'll have leftover mountain bonus stuff. Darn. Yeah, I should have been paying more attention to that. But I didn't think about it. Yeah, I think we go for it, just because I kind of want to play it. So, yeah, we'll do Nepal. Okay, so we get the Gurkha, we get the Sherpa, and we get the Highland Power Station. And so the warehouse bonus increase and then the Highland Power Station are the things that interest me the most out of all the stuff that Nepal has to offer. Okay, let's jump back into this and see what we have going on. Okay, so we got to do our beginning of the age stuff. So let's do these attributes first. Well, maybe we just grab all of our attributes and everything, and then we come in here and do these. Okay, let's actually do our legacy stuff first. So modern age has begun. So we have a ton of legacy stuff to figure out here. So we can gain an infantry unit and ranged unit in all of our distant land settlements. I don't think we need to do that. Let's take a look at our relationships really quickly. We're all kind of neutral, except for Isabella, who hates us. Yeah, so I guess we'll see how it goes then. We're pretty much neutral with everybody, which I guess is not a bad thing. Also, I noticed that it took down our gold and it took down our influence. I did not know that it would do that, but I guess it makes sense. So you can't just stockpile your stuff. Also, let me turn yields back on. So we do have quite a few distant land settlements. So we could go for land of opportunity, and we can go for an expansionist attribute point. And then here we could go for our religion, golden age. So +4 culture for every foreign settlement following our religion, which I think, well, we could take deep roots as well if we really wanted to. Reduce the relationship penalty from breaking. We needed this last age. Breaking an alliance by 50%, increase positive relationship gains from diplomatic actions by 50%. Yeah, we needed that last game. +2 gold per turn per unique resource that we have. Oh, we can only choose 2 golden age things. Oh wait, no, that's not a golden age thing, is it? That is. Ah, I see. Okay, so I think we want this. And then I think we can just grab... I mean, I'm kind of interested in going with this, but maybe we go deep roots. 30. How much is 38 culture in the grand scheme? I mean, it's not a ton, but it is decent. Yeah, it would be cool to get more alliances up, but the thing about the modern age is the ideologies. So I don't know, because the ideology is really just, they just break it, right? If somebody has a different ideology than you, you're not going to get an alliance there. It just continues to be negative more and more throughout the age. So I'm thinking deep roots would be better, because like 4 culture per settlement following a religion, that's kind of a lot actually. For every foreign settlement following a religion. And it's not just distant lands, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it is actually a decent amount. But the thing is, we put up the universities in all of our settlements. So like if we found one of our universities, they only give us 3, but that'll bump up our science production quite a bit, or our science yields quite a bit if we can get, if we use the gold, if we utilize Golden Age, if we use our Golden Age for the universities. Alternatively, we can do 3 science per turn for each quarter. So a quarter is when you have 2 districts on a tile. This is also probably, this might be better than that. Kind of wish it told us how much science that would give us though. That's the thing. That is the thing about this page here. It's like one of the few pages that, maybe there's a mod for it, I just haven't seen it. Like if we do that, we get rid of deep roots actually. And we use 2 culture there. I think that is fine. I think that'll give us the most science and the most culture. And then we have production in our distant lands, which I think is good. We have an expansionist attribute point. We can grab a diplomatic attribute point, and then 2 gold per unique resource that we have. That wouldn't be a ton. We can actually just grab 2 economic attribute points. That would give us this, and that would be much more gold than, what's it called? Than 2 per unique resource that we have. So I think we go for 2 economic attribute points. We will change our capital back to Cahokia, because that was our original capital. And then scientific attribute point. What does that look like? I guess we don't have a choice but to take it, but okay. +1 science on each quarter. Okay, so there you go. So we have 29 quarters. So that gives us 87 science, if I did the math right, for that other legacy thing, instead of our universities. So I think that's way better, potentially. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like it should be. So scientific attribute point, and then we have a wild card attribute point. So what do we want? Let's take a look at expansionist real quick, because that 25% of food is refunded when a city grows by adding a specialist. It's not bad. Could go diplomatic. So right now we're gonna have this one we're gonna grab, and we're gonna grab a social policy slot. And then after that, we probably won't get anything else diplomatic. And then if we have culture, could go 25% culture towards studying civic masteries. Could go for tech masters. I don't think we're gonna need this as much as we're gonna need culture. Because like if we look at our culture tree, where is the fake artifacts one? Right here. So yeah, I think we'll go for culture this time around. So let's grab, wait, was that, I think it was the culture tree, correct? So let's grab the culture attribute point. Okay, boom. And that is everything. Okay, confirm legacies. Now let's slide in here and dish out all of our attribute points. So we want that one. For diplomatic, we want this, and social policy slot. Economic, we want to go here and here. And then expansionist, we're going to, I think we're going to do cities and then this. I think that's the play. And then scientific, we will grab, this is actually pretty nice. Where are we on settlement cap anyway? Oh, we are still over settlement cap, funny enough. This would have been the one to get. Could grab this, technically. This is a decent amount of happiness and gold toward maintaining buildings. That's research towards tech masteries, a quarter faster. Okay, I'm leaning toward this. This could be good because we're leaning more, a little bit more on culture. I think the happiness, especially as we get more districts up, will be good for us. So we're gonna grab this one and then we'll just roll with that. Okay, there's nothing in here that we need to do. All right, it looks like we are set up. Napoleon is still way ahead in science, which is okay. We're actually in second overall with science. That's pretty good. Okay, Sousa has some growth, has positive happiness now, which is good. So we're gonna go ahead and grab this farm tile because then we can grab the niter. Excellent. Wanuku has some growth, still decently happy here. We can actually get this oil online, which we should do. So we'll grab this fishing tile and then we'll get the oil online next time. Chickasaw has some growth. I think it might be all of our talents that have growth, actually. I don't see any new resources that are within range. So we can just grab a fishing tile Okay, this settlement has growth as well. I think pearls is the play. So let's grab those. And then Takume. Takume is going to be growth. This one actually has production on it. There's a few that actually have production on them. So let's hit that one. Gordium. No new resources. Or at least doesn't look like it. So let's grab the food first. There. And our new capital. What do we want here? Probably the production. Interesting. Oh, they do. The specialists do carry over. So I wonder what happens to the specialists in the cities that are no longer cities. Like, do you just redistribute the population or do you lose them? Because it'd really be a shame if you lost them. I guess we'll grab the production for now. Okay, our settlement with our natural wonder. This tea looks huge. So we'll grab that. Perfect. Yeah, so Saivash. I don't remember if you had any specialists. I feel like you didn't. And grab the mountain tile. Oh, that one had 7 production on it. That is okay. We'll grab it next time. Now you actually need happiness. So we'll grab you this tile for now, since you're a town now. Then Kansa. Okay, Kansa keeps the specialist actually. That is good to know. Kansa, we're going to give you these mountain tiles. And then Alabama, we're going to give you mountain tiles as well. Give you this one with the science on it. So it's also going to boost your happiness up, which we need to do. Choctaw needs happiness, also needs production. So we're going to grab this farm, and that'll open up this mountain tile for us. Then Machu Picchu, what are we looking at here? Looks like all fish. This one has production on it. Oh, could grab the pearls. Let's grab the pearls next time. Okay, and then here we're just going to grab the food, 100%. Jeanette can grab the volcano, actually. Can grab both volcanoes. That's kind of cool. Yeah, so I think we'll do that. Awesome. Wilkawaman. All these, I believe, are the same. So we'll just grab this one to kind of push our borders out a little bit more for what it's worth. Okay, and then Cusco, we can start building stuff. So what do we want to build? I think we need a Sherpa to start building on our mountains. So let's create a Sherpa. Oh, we need to do resource management as well. So like, let's do some other stuff first, and then we'll do resource management at the end. Okay, Oxford University is usually something we always build. We could also get our merchants online. I think if we can get academics done and Oxford built, then we can just go into whatever else we want to. Now, let's look at our Nepal civics here. Plus food and science buildings, food and science buildings receive an adjacency from mountains. So that doesn't give us anything. Sherpas can activate on an unowned mountain tile within 5 tiles of one of your settlement's palace or city hall. A path of tiles is claimed back to the settlement, and the mountain tile is improved immediately. I don't know if that's valuable in the current state of the game. I feel like we'll have everything kind of built by then. Or like we have everything built now, like built up enough. Anyway, it could be useful as we get power stations up, but I'm just kind of thinking in terms of maximizing the utility, I don't think we really can at this stage. That's kind of, the wonder here is kind of interesting to me. +3 influence on culture buildings. All districts adjacent to mountains receive defensive fortifications, one-time effect. That's interesting. I don't know how much that'll impact us though. I have to take a look. This is combat stuff. So combat strength for units adjacent to mountains. Double defend our territory. That's actually pretty strong in some of our settlements that have more mountains like Cusco. And then units complete fortifications in 1 turn if adjacent to a mountain. That means without a military commander around also. That's actually decent if we're fighting somebody. And then museums have 2 additional great work slots, which, I mean, I think you only need 7 artifacts, if I'm not mistaken, to trigger your victory condition here for culture. The mountain tiles receive 4 culture in your capital. Mountains receive +2 culture in other settlements. That's not bad. So what I really want is this wonder, but then we compromise on stuff here. Living standards is actually huge for us. We also want to get natural history up as soon as possible, actually. So we're going to do a natural history first, so we can get our explorers rolling. And then we'll probably go into our Napoleon? Is that? I don't even know if that's correct. Our Nepal civics. And kind of go there. Explorers can excavate artifacts, action on or adjacent to natural wonders. Cool. Now, yes please. Okay, settlements receive gold in production. Okay, gold per each urban population, and then production for each rural. Okay. 50% food in settlements with a city center. Okay, so there's some mountain bonuses that we can retain from playing Inca. Adjacency for resources. We get gold for that. And then we're not gonna pick this yet because we don't have trade routes, and we need to actually research merchants first before we can do that. So we'll just pick this one and then see if people trade with us. That looks good. Kathmandu could use happiness. There's a 10 happiness spot right here, but we're going to lose 3 science from the building. But I think we lose more because there's specialists there. That's the only thing. Yeah, I have an issue with getting rid of like science buildings. So maybe we put down a grocer. So if we build over the altar, we lose 3 happiness, which puts us negative for happiness. So technically we'd want the city park up first. Yeah. I don't think it makes sense to put this here because we build over the temple and we only get 4 happiness. So then we might as well just put it in one of these tiles. So I'm thinking we do just build... I don't really want to build over the observatory. I think I'd rather just build it here and rip down the pot cop. Yeah, we lose 1 gold in production. The food doesn't really matter because we're going to have a lot more food coming in from our towns shortly. So the only thing we're really losing is 5 happiness from not putting it here, but we're saving our science because I don't think we just lose 3. I think we actually lose 5 science here if we tear this down. I think, right? Because it would be half of the science that this tile produces unless the university and the observatory are disproportionate, but I don't think they would be because they're both obsolete since we didn't pick the Golden Age universities. So we're just going to roll with this. We're just going to throw this down here. I think that's fine. Final answer. So let's place a specialist here. Oh wait, our specialists on next to mountains don't cost happiness now. So that's actually what we should be prioritizing. So these are ageless. These are obsolete. So let's use this because it gets 1 gold, 1 food as well. That's awesome. Perfect. So what we're going to do is we're going to put our commander and stuff on alert. We're just going to go through and put all of our units on alert. Okay, there is our fleet commander, which can technically just hang out there for now. That's fine. Oh, here's our other fleet commander. So do we want to move you? Probably down here. That is that. We also want to take a look at potentially upgrading some of our cities, or our settlements back to cities. So Choctaw will be a city again. Should definitely build this park. Unfortunately, oh no, you know, we can build over the temple and get 6 happiness, but we lose, maybe we lose 4 gold for culture. Why do these buildings keep their adjacency? Maybe they don't. That is weird. So it looks like this should be ageless and always give that bonus, but it doesn't look like it's giving the bonus anymore. Even if I go to put a new building on top of it, like if I overbuild here. That, well, one, it's a shame if it's a graphical issue. Like if it's a UI bug, because then how would you know? And then we're missing out on yields. 2, if that's actually the case, why is this ageless? So, I don't know what that means. Well, City Park could build over the Guild Hall. Here again, we lose culture and gold. And here we lose culture and gold. And production in this case. Yeah, that's not amazing, I must say. Okay, what about the grocer? Where can we put down a grocer? Could build it over the menagerie, but then we're losing more happiness, which is not what we want to do. Could throw it down on this farm and get some happiness out of it. Yeah, aside from around the Wonder, we don't really have a lot of good spots to put this park. So I guess we'll just build over the farm. Definitely not ideal. Not by a long shot, but it's the only one that makes the most sense because like tearing these down for like -4 gold, -4 culture is not really what we want to do. So I guess that's okay. I don't really like the way that is. It also means though that we can get this for happiness tile. So that kind of makes up for losing the farm. Kind of wish we could have got better yields out of that park though. Unless I was missing something there, but we do need to do resources. I do want to get Alabama back up to city status. So let's do that. And then I also want to get Sivash back up to city status if we can. Okay, you need happiness, so can we put a park down for you somewhere that's pretty decent? So the best park for you is a 115, so putting it here for a 1-4 doesn't make me feel as bad. So let's do that. Did it? It bought it. I was still on the purchasing page. Okay, that's a little, at least I think I was. I'll have to double check, but that's kind of annoying. I don't think I want to prioritize food with overbuilding, so I'm going to throw this over here. I put it there. I don't really want to build over the production there though. By production could be okay though because we can secure the mountains. So let's do that actually. Let's put this down here and then we'll move this. So we got a 6 production out of this instead. 6 production, 4 happiness. Yeah, Alabama actually has a ton of mountains here. So let's grab that. And then we'll come back over here to Saivash because we didn't, we actually built. We hard built the, what's it called? The hospital, not the hospital, but the park. So we're going to put the grocer here. Could put it here. I think we're just going to overbuild the hospital. Okay. And then in terms of resources, so let's pull everything out. And then I will go ahead and take care of all this and bring you back when I am done. Okay. Resources are done. And we're looking solid enough considering the resources that we have. So that is good to go. It's a shame that we did build that, like gold built that city hall. I would have liked to get, maybe not Kansa, but like the settlement over here set back to a city. But that is just the way it goes. So in terms of endeavors, actually, we could start some. I kind of want to wait to see what city-states pop up and maybe start grabbing some of them to become user enough. So we'll see how that goes. Chickasaw actually has 18 turns until growth. We probably should just make it a fishing town. Yeah, we're going to do that. You should definitely be a fishing town. You have 17 turns until growth. Yeah, we're going to have to probably go through these and determine what we want to do with them because that's actually not that high. You're actually better off being a mining town. Yeah, so we'll go through those, all of our towns, and kind of determine which ones need to be set up or like specialized and then which ones don't. Like this is definitely a fishing town. The thing is we can make a lot of these hub towns, but I don't know if it's worth making so many of them hub towns. 3 science, 3 culture is not that amazing. I'd rather get this and get more specialists in our cities. So like there's one there. Some of them it's kind of like, well, do we really specialize it yet or do we wait? So we'll go through these. Some of them we're going to let chill, but then like some of them we'll make, like this one I think will be a hub town. 27 food's not bad though, but I kind of want the influence as well. Also, before we end the episode, what I was actually thinking, and I don't know how detrimental this would be to us, was once we hit political theory, if we don't select an ideology, that won't negatively impact our relationship with anybody, I don't think. It also won't positively impact our relationship with anybody either, so that's kind of the takeaway. We'll see. We'll see what our relationships look like by the time we get to the ideology stage. So, but on that note, we have started the modern age. We are all set up, minus our towns. We'll kind of figure that out as we go along though. And yeah, we're looking really solid. I'm kind of feeling either either a culture or economic victory attempt here. So we will see how that goes, especially because we haven't really fought anybody. And the only other game that we won where we didn't really fight anybody was our Hatshepsut game. So we'll see how that goes. But if you did enjoy this one, go ahead and hit that like button. Helps the channel out a ton. And if you're new, don't forget to subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one.